Hello, welcome back to another video. Well, I say another video, I haven't uploaded in a long time. So I thought I'd try something a bit new. Because I use Letterboxd and because I track what films I watch and whatever. And I've watched a range of different films this month. I've only watched 4, but I thought it'd be an interesting topic. So I'm going to start this new series, if you want to call it that, of films I watched last month. And the last month being August, and I'll go in order I started watching them to kind of give them a review, and obviously I'll talk about them a little bit. I won't remember a lot of it, being some of them being over a month ago now I watched them, and some of them that maybe didn't stick with me as much, but I thought I'd just crack on with it really. So if you couldn't tell, this is completely unscripted and I will edit a little bit, but it'll be a nice way to talk about films and a nice way to keep an upload on the channel. Hopefully this will happen once a month now. So the first film I watched this month was on the 6th of September. It was The Shining, and I watched this film for the first time. And obviously a lot of people like this film, me included, don't get me wrong. And obviously I recognise some of the iconic cinematography, lines, etc. And this is kind of the film they show you in clips of in film class, at least for me anyway. And maybe I expected a little bit more because of that kind of status, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. And this is, I think, only the second Kubrick film I've watched. Look at his work. Yeah, it is. I've watched A Clockwork Orange, which I do like. It's a bit weird, but I kind of like it because it's weird. Yeah, but I like The Shining. I think it's, don't get me wrong, some fantastic cinematography in there, and it really is, I wouldn't say underrated in terms of that, but it's maybe not talked about as much. So The Shining I gave 4 stars rather. And just so you know that I don't really believe in star rating just because Letterboxd gives it, and in fairness, that's just what I do straight after I watch the film, so it might have changed, it might have gone up, it might have gone down. I think in that case 4 is pretty fair. I just felt, I don't know, to be honest with you, I can't really remember what I felt, but I did enjoy it, so that's important. And on the same day, I watched Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. If you haven't seen my video on that, I'll put a card here for you to watch it right now, and it's also in the description. But yeah, I gave that a review. It's a bit shit, to be honest. I watched that literally an hour after I watched The Shining as well, so that probably didn't do it any favours. I thought, to be fair, there were funny bits in it, and that's because I have a ridiculous sense of humour. Like, I think Flushed Away is the funniest film of all time. I like fart jokes and shit like that. So it did get some giggles out of me, mainly because I was laughing at the film, of how ridiculous it is. There's some kind of lazy continuity and whatever. I've talked about it before, so I won't get into it too much, but I gave it a 1.5. Which is quite harsh from me. My reviews, if you go on my Letterboxd, the link will be in the description. My reviews are kind of like between 1.5 to 4.5. I rarely give 5s. And I don't really compare films either, so if I'd given Hobbs and Shaw 1.5 and then I'd given another film 1.5, which Hobbs and Shaw is much shitter, that's not to say that I think they're the same. It's just, I just pick a number really, pick a star. But that being said, I didn't watch the film for 15 days after that. On the 21st of August, I watched Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I was like half watching this, I'm not gonna lie. But the first one I really didn't like. I think it's just really boring and uninteresting. Yeah, it's like they're kind of riding on the back of Harry Potter, and they just have, oh look, character reference. Oh look, there's that one thing that was in that Harry Potter film. So yeah, I do like Harry Potter, but I just can't stomach these films. The first one, like I said, is just fucking boring. This one's slightly better, to be fair. Some of it looks alright. CGI is a bit hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes the creatures look really good, sometimes they look like Play-Doh. There's no in between. I quite like Eddie Redmayne. He's alright. He's a good actor, but he doesn't have a lot to do. Jude Law as well, I'm a big fan of, but again, just doesn't do anything. This film literally, almost nothing happens, and when it ended, I was a bit confused. Obviously, they're making a third film, but there's no reason why they couldn't have just sandwiched one together, because unless I've forgotten it all, because it was, 20 days ago now? That was a guess, so don't quote me on that, but it was a long time ago, so I might have forgotten it. It might have been that forgettable. But I'm pretty sure nothing happened in that film, apart from Ezra Miller's character did something at the end, which was already seen in the first one, if I'm not mistaken, so it was just a bit boring. So I gave that 2.5 stars, which is, if anything, a bit generous. Then, the one I've been waiting for, the day after I watched Fantastic Beasts, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A Tarantino film, supposedly his last, I think. I thought it was alright. I don't think it was amazing. I certainly don't think it was his best by any stretch. It might have even been his worst. It's cool. There's some really cool moments. It's like almost like a clip show at times. It's structured a bit like Pulp Fiction, but not quite. There's some really cool scenes, some really cool dialogue. But my favourite scene is the one where they act out the western, and it just looks really good as well. I thought the acting was really good. Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, good. Margot Robbie didn't get a lot to do, but I kind of understood that better once I did some research on what's his name? I've forgotten his name. I understood a bit better why Margot Robbie didn't get a lot of action after I did a bit of research on the Charles Manson murders, because I wasn't that familiar with them and I didn't really know who Sharon Tate was, and it kind of made me understand better. But if I didn't have that, I didn't have that prior knowledge of the film, so I kind of just felt like I didn't really know what she was doing in it. But that's that, really. I thought it was good. I gave it 3.5 stars, which is potentially harsh, because I give really shit films 3 stars sometimes, but I feel like for a director like Tarantino, you have to be a bit harsher when he doesn't quite hit the mark. But at the same time, I do celebrate when he does hit the mark. There's lots of feet in this film. I like that Al Pacino is in it. He's a bit not good, but it's nice to see Al Pacino in proper films, not in like Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill or some bullshit like that. But yeah, I think that was all the films I watched in August. But yeah, that's my reviews from August. You're welcome to disagree with me, and obviously I wasn't probably that coherent in expressing my feelings because I haven't watched the films in a while. But what I might start doing is, after I watch a film, just record a quick clip. So it's just 1st September, I'll just record a quick clip after I watched the film and how I felt about it. That makes more sense to me, I guess. And then hopefully this can be a monthly thing coming out on like the 1st of the month or some bullshit like that. But I'm hoping to watch It Chapter 2, maybe midsummer soon. So we've got some good films we can talk about. Hopefully they'll be good films. But yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded, I think it's been a month now, which is a bit rough. But I've decided to kind of just crack on with it. Maybe the quality might dip a bit because I'm back in university, so I might be concentrating on other projects, but hopefully I can upload as frequently as life allows me to. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it's a It Chapter 2 review. See ya. Bye bye.